How we doing, everybody?
I love music.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet
My
music.
partner's been replaced with a deep fake, I guess.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's what I got to do.
Speaking of deep fakes, assumption is that at least some of the viewers that watch our content probably know of the internet phenomenon known as Chris Chan. So, as I was on my way up today, well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Before I left to come up today, I happened across a video, a deep fake, as it were, of Jordan Peterson talking to Joe Rogan about Chris Chan. And it was, I mean, you could tell it was a deep fake, obviously. And it actually wasn't the best deep fake I've ever heard, but it was pretty, caught me off guard anyway.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
But it wasn't good.
It wasn't good either. But the point I'm making is it was just a shameless promotion for the Geno Samuel channel. So anyway, that said, today we're going to be kind of dialing it back a little bit and playing a classic for
Super Nintendo,
Sega Genesis. Kirby.
Superstar.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was a re-release / remaster / whatever for Kirby's Return to Dreamland, which first came out on the Wii and now it's returned to the Switch with a couple extra features. But I figured let's...
Extra features?
There's like a post-game little thing, and there's some more mini-games now.
They still have the UFO catcher thing? Remember that minigame?
It might have been added as one of the new ones. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
Well, I guess we're going to find that out pretty soon. I hope to God I hope they do anyway, because I don't know. I like those things for some strange reason.
I figured, let's just play the one that everyone considers what's usually the best, Superstar, because it's 8 games in one.
It is 8 games in one. And the controls are good. The graphics are good.
It's very pink.
It is very pink.
He's got more.
Kirby is
He's got maximum pink.
He comes right back at you. He's as gluttonous as ever, if not more so.
I'm declaring war on anyone who says Poyo.
Don't do Puyo Puyo.
Oh yeah, no.
For people that might not be familiar, because I don't know who the hell's watching this show. But explain to me. Well, for the people that don't know, what is Puyo Puyo? It's basically like Tetris, right?
Yeah, it's one of those puzzle games that woes.
A woes?
Yeah, the woes.
Oh, we're
it woes.
So we got a speech impediment today. Is that it?
Yeah,
I mean, evidently we do. If I'm talking as low as I am,
that's what we're going with. It woes.
It woes out of
Tetris's booming popularity.
He's like, oh, those damn Ruthenians and their
along with
Tetris technology. We have to outdo them.
Stuff like Panel Depon, which became Pokemon Puzzle League.
Yeah.
Dr. Mario, Yoshi's Cookie.
Dr. Mario's still the best.
Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Oh, you gotta... We can't talk about Dr. Robotnik.
Dr. Eggman's Mean Bean Machine.
Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't think we've reached that point of cancellation yet,
No.
Especially since, well,
As long as we don't mention our favorite choice of beverage.
Oh, yeah.
From last night.
Horilka.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what it was.
Horilka.
And nothing else.
No, we can mention it because it was invented by the Ruthenians. It was invented by those Lectic people next door.
It was invented by the Kievan Rus.
So there were 3 brothers, Lech, Czech, and Rus.
Yes.
And they spread out all over Central and Eastern Europe and formed what are the Slavic people today. And the people from the Lectic branch are the ones that invented vodka.
It's like how people misinterpret the Book of Exodus to try and justify slavery.
Yeah.
But with Slavs, I guess.
Exactly. That's essentially what happened in a nutshell. And essentially the relationship between the 3 siblings was tenuous. And it's, like if that's the case, fair enough. It certainly shows today, but I'm going off on a tangent here.
Thick and ropey.
Oh, yeah. Real thick and ropey. Anyway.
So
this is a strange mini game that I don't recall playing. So do you just my
well, you might remember from our times playing.
my impression is that you just avoid the dudes from Clue Land or whatever.
They're from another one of HAL Laboratories' earlier games on the NES.
Yeah,
I don't. They're called Lo and La La La.
that's it.
Because
we played Adventures of Lolo, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
We haven't played it for the channel.
No, well, not yet.
But
We will. All I'm gonna say is, man,
because this entire first sub game, as they're called, is just a remake of the original Kirby's Adventure, or not Kirby's Adventure, Kirby's Dreamland from the Game Boy, but now you can actually use copy abilities.
yeah.
And they also cut out the boss that was a giant blimp with a gun attached to it.
Oh, was that considered to? Well, first thing I think of a blimp is Zeppelin, and now Spy Balloon, but which I'd like to make into an action adventure board game, or at least a parody sketch for SNL, which they'll never take it. But then again, maybe they might. I don't know.
I guess maybe they just didn't want to program the mint leaf power up.
Yeah.
For like 1 or 2 boss fights.
The mint leaf, yeah. Which gives you.
It just basically turned the game into a little.
It gives you the power of minty fresh.
Turned the game into Gradius for like a few minutes.
Oh, Gradius! Now you're getting real obscure. That's another game I've never actually played. I only, well, I shouldn't say that. I did for like 5 minutes, and then
it's honestly
I died, and it was never interesting enough to draw me back. So
it's honestly hard for me to remember which shoot 'em ups rather I've played and I haven't, because after a while they do kind of blend together.
Yeah.
I haven't played Ikaruga, and I've heard that one's really good.
Ikaruga.
Yeah, because it's got color projectiles, and that determines what ones you can dodge and which ones you can't.
Speaking of Ikaruga,
getting a copy of that.
You saw James Rolfe recently released a video of Kid Icarus.
Yeah,
which is an interesting take for those of you who haven't played it. I have. I'm not gonna say I loved it because it's unbelievably frustrating.
Yeah, I didn't beat it.
Yeah.
I did what most people did and looked up a password on the internet.
Yeah.
Or at least what most people have done these days.
Yeah. As you do.
But
he did bring up a good point though. Why the heck do they call it Kid Icarus when you're playing as like what is it again? Lot
Pit.
or yeah, Pit, that's it. Yeah.
No, the one I did play a lot of was the sequel on the 3DS, which turned it into a much more modern shooter.
And a playable game at that.
Yeah. Very bad on your wrist, though, because like you're using the little 3DS control wheel. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you're using the stylus with your other hand, and like
the control wheel.
Like you can't play that game on a high difficulty for too long without actually risking carpal tunnel.
Yeah. Well, that happens to me with pretty much every game I play,
Like,
quite frankly.
I think that game could really benefit from a Switch re-release, especially now that, there's really no hope for it getting an update on the 3DS, right?
Yeah, because that's super dead, yeah.
Because like just adding like good twin stick controls.
Or a service dog just left.
Yeah, he's dog.
Yeah. But yeah, continue.
Like even back then, they could have used that Circle Pad Pro accessory where it adds a second like control nub.
Yeah, and control nub.
Or even updated for the new 3DS, which had that little
the little extra, yeah,
that thing that doesn't really move, but
it's
somehow
sort of there
interprets
anyway.
Movement anyhow.
Which was kind of, yeah. Remember when they tried to implement the fucking what is effectively a joystick for the DSi and then the 3DS?
Yeah.
That was kind of a strange choice. I didn't actually have one, but I had a family member that did.
I still prefer it to the one that's on the PSP.
Well, I'll give you that one.
It's just so oddly placed.
Yeah.
And I feel like it has maybe not too much resistance.
Yeah.
Like it's got a weird feel to it.
Yeah, it doesn't help that it's oblong in its construction either, you know what I mean? Whereas with the Game Boy, that was fairly rectangular. Well, the Advance anyway.
Mhm.
That was rectangular, but the construction was slightly different. It was a little bit thicker, and it wasn't.
Extra
Well,
thick.
it was narrower. It wasn't quite as wide as the PSP, but and maybe that was part of the. Maybe that's why it fared better. I don't know. At least in my opinion, it having held both and played games on both, I preferred it. I'm not sure why.
Well, the original PSP model was also a couple millimeters thicker.
That's true.
So, I don't know. Maybe that could have helped.
Maybe, but yeah, not the newer releases. Those were paper thin, and I just didn't particularly care for it.
I haven't ever laid hands on a Vita, so maybe
Yeah,
the reverse compatibility there might make some of that a bit more bearable.
yeah,
At the same time, you can't use those not-so-universal media discs.
right.
You can only use the downloaded versions of PSP games on that.
Which was kind of an interesting choice too. I'm not really sure why they chose to go that way. I suppose it would. I mean, I guess they hadn't really, come to think of it, there have been no PlayStation games on any console that have used cartridges.
Yeah, they should have just re-released like the 10 good PSP games on Vita carts.
Yeah,
So,
would have worked better. But that was, yeah, awkward.
because there's really not that many.
No,
Um,
I am kind of impressed though that they were able to fit the necessary mechanics to
Sure,
actually,
power up.
get a disc reader into a system of that size.
and boy, can you tell
Oh,
the way it winds when you hold it. It's not quite on the level
Yeah.
of the Dreamcast where it goes. Tick.
well, no. Well, I don't think there's a lot that's on the level of the Dreamcast in terms of, well, pick the term you want to pick,
Yeah.
quality or lack thereof.
Well, thanks to the modern retro gaming community, I think someone released a modern Dreamcast controller that actually doesn't suck to hold. Like the wire comes out of the right end.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
That's actually a really nice touch.
So if you ever bother to pick one up, that's the controller I'm going to use.
Oh yeah, I think your game just froze. Well, no, actually you killed DDD, which I don't know when he became a semi-professional boxer, but
That's right.
what you think his agents are billing him out as, or billing him out at? I mean, he is a dictator.
Well,
I would assume anyway. So
let's not try to break kayfabe here.
I suppose not. Just dashed right through that one.
Yeah, look how fast these credits are going.
Yeah, holy hell! Shigeru, was that Shigimigi?
Yeah, probably.
Hell yeah!
And
There he is.
And Satoru Iwata, rest in peace.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously they was licensed under Nintendo, so of course he'd be in the credits. But yeah,
Yeah, I've beaten this game probably at least 3 times.
which is understandable.
'Cause I went through it on the Wii Virtual Console. I went through it with the 20th anniversary Dream Collection.
Yeah,
I might have gone through it again on the Wii U Virtual Console.
yeah.
And then when they re-released the SNES Classic or the SNES Mini, whichever they call it, I think it changes by region what the actual official title is.
Probably.
So that
No, the real SNES Mini is the Famicom 60 or the Super Famicom. Famicom. I can't speak.
no, it's the Aladdin Deck Enhancer.
Oh, fair enough. I've got to say though, if a castle started crapping, sweets and goodies, I gotta tell you,
You'd be right under there, mouth agape.
no.
Could not contain yourself.
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. You're definitely wrong, but I mean, seriously, who in their right?
Wrong,
I mean,
or am I the
I mean-
most right I've ever
I mean,
been?
seriously, who in their right mind would do that? I mean, obviously you would, which is kind of curious because you are the smarter of the two, obviously.
Who
so
am I to refuse these blessings from the Lord?
Dane Cook said years ago, and I quote: "If a 400-pound jug of juice came crashing through your wall, with asbestos and lead paint having fallen in his open idiot head, would you drink out of him?
Hell yeah.
With tights on. I don't know why the fucking juice is wearing
The lead
tights.
paint adds flavor.
The juice box is hanging out. Fuck. Oh, God. Dane Cook. What a comedian. I'll tell you what. He's from Canada.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
A lot of good comedians from there. Like
John Candy.
Norm Macdonald, rest in peace.
No, both of them are gone.
Oh, yeah.
Someone else. Well, I don't know. Jim Carrey was a comedian. Still is technically, although I haven't seen him do stand-up in God knows how long.
I mean, he still does if you count his social media accounts.
Yeah. So, anyway. But yeah, no, there's I was going to make a point, and I don't remember what that point was. And again, that is why I am the Debil.
There was a point here.
There was a point here.
It's gone.
There was a point in time.
Society.
There was, and see, here we go. There was a point in time where I was going to make a point. That point has passed, and with it,
there's rules
and so
to this
too,
shit.
and so too has my point. And so too, my point has gone.
It too will be lost,
oh man!
like teardrops in rain.
Will the DBL ever get his IQ over 125? The world may never know.
All right, let me ask you this: do you hate the narration that Harrison Ford's narration at the end of the Blade Runner master cut?
I didn't really have an opinion of it, to be honest with you.
It's like a lot of people don't like it.
I'd have to listen to it again to give you a definitive answer.
I mean, it's obviously he's not giving his A game, but at the same time,
no, I mean, why would you? It wasn't like Indiana Jones billing, obviously. I have to point out, I've always loved that, how Kirby, takes all the enemies and just flat out murders them by boiling them alive.
Oh, yeah.
And he wears the chef hat as he does so, and he just looks so bloody happy.
The cutest little cosmic horror.
I swear to God.
It's like, the thing
I got a Wendy's toy back in the day that had a Chef Kirby. It was a Chef Kirby, and it had
still got it?
It's buried somewhere in my house. I'm not sure where. If I can find it, I was going to say hold on to that shit, because that's going to be, maybe it's worth some money now, I don't know, but it's going to be worth even more money in the future, I would think. But no, he has the frying pan and the chef hat, and it's mechanical, so you can flip stuff out of it.
Yeah.
I think they sold it with a couple little cardboard cutout pieces of food that you could flip out or whatever. It was cool for the
the first amiibo.
Late 90s, early 2000s. Kind of was, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, once I get a good Game Boy, I'm going to get a hold of Kirby's Tilt.
We hacked a Kirby Wendy's toy to act as an amiibo.
Add one of those little garbage speakers.
Yeah.
It could say anything.
Woohoo! It could say, I hope you all get cancer, or even worse.
But you wouldn't even be able to tell, because it just sounds...
I hope you all get cancer. I'll be honest with you, the amiibo thing never caught on to me. I mean, the Wii U wasn't an exceptional console, and it's funny,
It had some good games, but...
11 years old now.
Yeah, but now, all but 3 or 4 of them have been ported onto other consoles.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason for that.
There's a Kirby game that hasn't been ported.
Had a decent port of...
Actually, I can just look over to my shelf here.
Had a decent port of Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, there's Smash 4, which really just got reinvented into Smash Ultimate.
Yeah.
There's the Kirby game where you draw on the tablet.
Mario Kart's Mario Kart.
Yeah, well, they ported Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
And with the Switch now, there's the expansion pass with a bunch of new tracks, so there's really no reason to go back.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze got ported, and now you can play as Funky Kong.
Ooh.
The new
You can actually play as Funky Kong.
The new funky mode.
You can't go fishing, can you?
Oh no. But it's funky. Oh, there's the...
Funky Kong X Spirit Air. The collaboration nobody asked for, coming to you never.
There's There's a Paper Mario game for Wii U, but a lot of people have opinions on the newer Paper Mario games, and I can't say I blame them.
Oh, I mean, I haven't played. For me, it stopped after Super Paper Mario. I never went back to any of the newer ones.
Yeah, I mean, I got about halfway through Color Splash on the Wii U, and then I kind of stopped.
Yeah.
I've heard the one on the Switch, Origami King, is not bad. It's
Oregano King.
Its combat is more like a puzzle rather than
A platformer
than an actual
or
like RPG combat.
Yeah.
But that might not be a bad thing.
Well, I suppose sometimes it's prudent to reinvent yourself, which is another question I was going to ask you because maybe you have a theory, but I was wondering, the other day, like at what point does I don't know. Say you have a franchise, and it's a fairly successful franchise, but the time has come, for whatever reason, to reinvent yourself. How do you do it, and what avenue do you choose to go? What's your criteria? Because everyone's got different ones, I should think. And sometimes they turn out really bad, sometimes they turn out really good. I suppose there's no...
Right, because it's with games, it's really hard to nail. Because it's all about intent.
Right.
Because like the biggest examples come to mind back in the late 90s when games were transitioning to 3D.
Yeah, that was an interesting time period.
Because like Metroid did it seamlessly with Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
But then you have a very similar case with Castlevania.
Oh, yeah, don't remind me about that one. That
really never managed to get 3D working correctly.
No. Well, and that Nintendo 64 port was just flat out awful. I really can't understand for the life of me what they were doing when they decided to put skeletons riding motorcycles into a game, which is set in like 1500s,
1800s.
18. I thought it was earlier than that. 1800s. We'll assume Romania or Germany or. I've never really looked into it that much, but somewhere between those two. Germania, yeah. Well, Wallachia. But even then, I mean, the motorcycle wasn't invented until the very early 20th century, at least in the way that most people know it now, and certainly in the way that it was depicted in that game.
The chainsaw was invented, so that's technically accurate, but not the motorcycle.
No. Well, there was no gas-powered chainsaw, I don't think. Or maybe there was. I don't remember. I thought it was just a hand-cranked or a steam-powered
It was
thing.
a surgical tool.
Oh, yeah. Remember when you used to walk into barber shops for procedures of that nature?
Thankfully, no.
It's where that's where the red on the barber pole comes from, for people that aren't familiar, and I'm sure there's a lot of you that are. But it just, in the off chance that one or two of you are not, there's your answer. And if you don't believe me, you can research it yourself. Now, as for the blue, that I don't know. The white I thought was supposed to be the bandage.
It's from the menthol.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
That's for the, I thought the, blue might have been like sutures or something, but who knows. But there was an explanation given that I just completely and totally forgot, but yeah. So there's that for you. I do like how they give you a icicle hat when you're frozen Kirby or ice Kirby or.
That's the best part of Kirby is the different movesets. The second best part is the different fashions.
Yeah. Kirby's fucking trending, dude.
Oh yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Always on YouTube's trending.
Always. I mean, look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
You got Chef Kirby, the new host of Hell's Kitchen.
I know how to cook just about every type of Kirby there is.
You got Movie Star Kirby, and you
There's
got
Fire Kirby.
You've got
Ice Kirby,
Antarctic Research
Wave
Kirby,
Mirror Kirby, Suplex Kirby, rock Kirby,
cheese Kirby,
whip Kirby, sand Kirby, water Kirby, bow Kirby,
air Kirby.
air Kirby.
There's a idea for you, Air Kirby's. Knockoff of the Air Jordan logo.
Well, there's Kirby's Air Ride, the racing game.
That too.
Remember when racing games were good?
Kirby 500. Yeah, I do. It's
That
been
was-
a few years now, but
It's been like 10 years.
yeah. I mean, I like racing games in general just because that's sort of my background, you know, being a former collegiate cross-country and track runner. Or it wasn't that good, but I was good enough to run collegiately.
Former
so.
collegiate IndyCar racer.
Yeah. You know, that's actually that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, that'd be some shit.
NC2A, if you're listening to this, which I know you're not, there you go. Danica Patrick can get on this right quick.
She'll finally be able to win a race.
Didn't she win like one?
Did she?
I thought she did.
But did she, though?
I don't remember. I'm not. It's not like I follow the IndyCar series that much.
Yeah.
I follow it a little bit more than NASCAR, but I'm not.
Like NASCAR, I don't get because it's like it's a circle
Yeah.
or an oval or an ellipse or
Yeah.
whatever.
Same with the IndyCar.
I like the dirt track because it's
Yeah. There's
it's-
more shit to go wrong.
it's dynamical.
Yeah. Same thing with F1 too. You know what I mean?
The Federation Internationale Automobile.
Yeah. La Automobili. Yeah. La Automobili Lamborghini.
Yeah, we're getting our N64 patched up so we can bring you high quality
Automobili
Video
Lamborghini.
to match our extremely low
Oh,
quality audio. And once that happens, then we'll play all of the 3 N64 games we have.
I'll work on that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm playing all the ones that I had growing up.
there's at least 5 good
I have-
N64 games.
I had
And some of them might not have been made by Rareware or
I
Nintendo.
had 3 of those.
See, because when I
Now
was
where they went, I don't know. I still get mad at my progenitors for getting rid of it. I mean, again, you know, I see their rationale. It didn't work with the TV, and I didn't know at the time that you could obviously adapt it to work with a newer TV.
well, not your TV.
Well, no, not my TV. Well, that as you've learned, right? Which is again, I'm sure part of the reason they got rid of it and didn't have the heart to tell me. But you know, it is what it is. That's how life goes sometimes. And I wasn't that smart of a kid to figure out that there are ways around that. But evidently, you know, I've tried those now, and it still hasn't worked. So
yeah,
is what it
your
is.
TV's stupid.
It is stupid. It is not a smart TV. It was like the first generation of quote-unquote flat-screen TVs, and even then it wasn't really a flat-screen TV.
Yeah,
it
and
still
even
had
some older flat screens should still work.
Yeah.
So you just got to.
So it's so really there's no excuse
Yeah.
with mine. So,
just old and broken and stupid.
and I would have expected more out of Toshiba.
Because it's like, no one would want to view a 240p signal anymore on a flat screen.
Yeah, so
even
why
though-
bother making it backwards compatible?
Even though it's right after the advent of HD signals.
Yeah, but we ain't gonna talk about that. So it is what it is.
But we just did.
Well, I know we just did. When I say we, I was referring to we as in the television manufacturer.
Ah,
I should have specified, which is one thing I'll improve at, or I
Never.
would like to
never
improve at.
specify.
Yes, that's what you want to do, boys and girls. Make everything as cryptic as you can possibly make it.
We're all about vague generalizations
Yeah.
here.
So now you're fighting Spike Kirby, or Kirbina, Serbina. I'm not
Serbia.
because Kirby is a Serb.
Wasn't it obvious?
I mean, did you see the hat? I didn't, but you know, maybe Kirby's maybe Kirby still has you know, some
The dulcet tones of techno folk playing in the background.
it's turbo folk.
In practice, there's very little difference.
Yeah. Is there though? It's like first thing you think of when you think of Serbia. You think of turbo folk, basketball players.
That incident with the beer bottle.
Yeah, and, Rakia, and that one guy from World War I who kind of, you know what I mean?
Gavrilo Princip.
Yep, Gavrilo Princip.
And then nothing bad ever happened there again.
No. Okay, moving on. You got your hammer.
Moving along in my automobile.
My baby beside me at my Kirby beside me at the wheel.
No particular place to go.
I got a hammer in my hand. And Donkey Kong music not playing in the background. I'm sure somebody's modified the game to have the Donkey Kong music playing as you use your hammer. You know what I mean?
Gotta love it.
Somebody, somewhere.
Well, that's the best part of Donkey Kong 64 is when you have to, like, just play a couple levels of the original Donkey Kong. For a collectible. It prevents you from looking at Lanky Kong's ugly face.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, his funny face.
Yeah.
For a couple of minutes.
It would be kind of cool is if you were Donkey Kong and you were just fucking with Mario, like throwing barrels at his head. I mean, they obviously kind of did that in the second game, but I don't know, kind of interesting. Donkey Kong Versus, which I think they also did, didn't they?
He has no bones. He has no face. This Kong is from the depths of space.
You got. So now you're fire, Kirby.
Yeah.
And you got to be real fucking careful where you you got to be real careful around those explosives if you're fire, Kirby.
I don't want it.
I would think. But then again, this is a video game, so the, rules of nature are bent slightly. I like how you can swim in water and it somehow doesn't extinguish, your blaze.
He's an elemental. Fire is what he is.
Kirby is his own element. The rules of nature don't apply. So, well, you got to get the food. That's essential.
And they use like the green pumpkins,
The Groonkins.
Like the kind you don't see that much.
The kind that I totally forgot about.
Like the green and brown ones those are probably the ones that they use actually for food, like to make all the.
Oh, probably, yeah, because they're not aesthetically pleasing. So why would you? Doesn't make sense not to. Although I'll be honest, and this is really strange because I like squash.
Yeah.
Right, but for some reason I've just never really enjoyed pumpkins all that much. I don't really know why. It doesn't make any sense. They're both gourds.
See, I'm kind of the other way around. I'll have squash every now and again, but I like pumpkin stuff. I'm basic.
Same thing with pumpkin. I swear. I mean, pumpkin pie is okay sometimes. I've just never loved the shit out of it. Like it's not like it repulses me. I don't know what it is. It's strange.
The worst is when someone offers you what you believe is pumpkin pie, and it's actually sweet potato pie.
Oh, well, sweet potato is an absolute for me.
Those people.
I really hate when they puree it.
They need to learn a life lesson.
You don't pureed sweet potato is no go. And I like potatoes. I really love potatoes. In no small part due to my background, but sweet potato.
I am what I am, and that's all that I am.
I am a Germano-Slavic man. Toot toot. So anyway, now you got the Firebird, even though that's not what it is. But
Dynablade.
Dynablade, yeah. That's right. Damn, Falcon. That plastic. Oh, shit.
Get down here.
Get down here.
Come on.
Falcon got punched.
Well, that was the final boss of this sub game.
Hell yeah.
Didn't you feel the tension?
Oh, look at the baby birds.
It's like, she was stealing all the food because her chicks were hungry.
And Kirby's like, oh, shit, now I feel like an ass. Be funny to see that as a subplot. Like Kirby has guilt over the mom of the baby birds.
Kirby does not feel remorse ever.
Oh wait, no, he didn't because she's right there.
Yeah.
So he just crippled her slightly, is all.
His might makes right.
I mean, fair enough.
To be continued.
To be continued. Never.
Do.
And this is where the Crocodile Dundee spinoff starts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This Men at Work starts playing for some reason.
I laughed my ass off when they had that in the closing credits of the third movie, which nobody should ever watch. Paul Hogan himself said so.
Well, was that song just not out when the first movie premiered?
I thought it was, and they just either couldn't get the rights to use it or they didn't think to use it. Because you would think that would work perfectly.
Like, it's such an obvious oversight.
Yeah. So I'm leaning more towards they couldn't get the rights to use it. But then again, who knows? I didn't think it came out in the 90s. It does not seem like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Men at Work were big in the 80s.
Well, yeah, that's when
I mean, their second album was big in, like, 84.
Yeah. So doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? Well, that's not Men at Work, but so anyway, now you're in the jungle.
Welcome to the jungle. It's underground, I guess.
I mean the Amazon is beneath us in the world, geographically speaking. So, speaking of which, the little one-eyed Lolo-looking enemies kind of reminded me of the Among Us. I don't even know what they call them. The Amongians, I'll call them.
I know it because when you played as many Kirby games as I have, they kind of meld together.
Yeah.
But this is one of those series where it has a fake credit sequence where it gives you all the names of the enemies.
Yeah.
It's one of those things I really like.
It is kind of cool. Did it in the second Mario game, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And they were all wrong because it's translated.
Because the second Mario game was, that was an interesting game.
It was special.
I mean, I'm not complaining that they, released Doki Doki Panic with a Mario reskin to the United States because, it was still a fun game. I just,
It was still a nice sauce.
It's like, no, you guys you can't handle the real Super Mario Brothers 2. And, maybe there's some truth to that because having played it a number of times, it is very, very difficult.
I did it.
You didn't like it, but you did it.
Yeah.
I did it too. Barely.
Don't think
get that treasure chest.
Did that shit to diss you intentionally.
Did you? I couldn't tell.
No.
No, I genuinely couldn't tell.
All that other stuff.
The other stuff, absolutely, but not that one. Yeah. Man, you got flying Lolos, you got one-eyed Lolos.
It's all Lolos down here, Georgie.
Kind of sounds like a band name too, the one-eyed Lolos.
Shit. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're not going for
where's Fire Kirby now, huh?
Perfect run here.
Cannibalization of the Lolo. Kirby was the sole the sole orchestrator of the Lolo.
He's a Lolo denier.
He's like, listen, all right, they tasted so good. I just can't help myself. I have an illness and I'm getting help for it.
Feed me, Lolo.
Feed me, Lolo. Feed me all night long. There you go. See, there's what I mean right there. See, look at that thing.
Oh, that's
the one-eyed Lolo.
Oh, that is a Bronto Burt.
Oh, that's Bronto Burt, yeah.
Yes.
Well, even still,
I know the deep lore.
you see what I mean. You can. I would think you could anyway. Am I wrong? Do those not remind you of those little things from Among Us? The Amogians?
Amogus. It's very sussy.
Amobius. Which
Amorbius.
which we will never play on this channel because
No.
I just have no real desire to. So if we lose subscriber for that reason, well, first of all, we have to get subscribers in the first place, which we don't have yet. But if that's a casualty, so be it. Is what it is. Can't please all the people all the time, right? There you go. Yeah, just kind of looks like my my boss from the concrete company. That is, if my boss were a warthog.
If I was a young warthog.
Man, Sir Kibble don't got shit on Meta Knight.
Nah, not really, no.
Just gotta say that for the record. Starstone obtained. Value 821 dinar. There you go.
Gotta put that on blast.
On that blast processing, you know what I mean?
Well, no.
Which this game does not have.
It does not have blast
It
processing.
does not have blast processing. Doesn't have 32 bits either.
16 bits.
15 bits.
A 15-bit register. Oh, man.
Can you imagine?
I'm trying not to, really.
Well, I'm trying my damnedest to get you to. Oh, such a painful optical image.
It's like what? Then that leaves you like, once you take out the one for the sign, now you only have like 14 left for the mantissa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't it nightmarish? It's like, well, we didn't intend for it to be this way. We just kind of ran out of money.
And
So
you can only divide it like once evenly, and it's just a fucking mess.
Yeah, it don't work mathematically. Oh my God, it's Willie, even though it isn't. Yeah, I got me a corncob pipe to match.
You know you love it. See, this is a strictly cherry wood pipe neighborhood, okay?
Yeah. Well, except I don't really get it because the whale hurts you if it goes by you, and yet I'd imagine that it's probably significant enough distance away from the dock that it,
Well, it's sprites.
Now the oh man, I can't speak today. I can't think straight. I gotta.
You got it.
No, I don't. The projectiles carried down from the spray from the blowhole, that I could see, but that whale's got to be like 10, 15 feet away from you. I don't understand how it's gonna go past you.
Well, I'll tell you the real secret. It's because the Super Nintendo could only do that kind of sprite scaling on that layer of.
I get it. I understand it. It's weird when you think about it, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
I think it would be more interesting if like the boardwalk like broke, right? And like you stepped onto the boardwalk and because it looks kind of, pieced together rather haphazardly, right? It'd be interesting to see the boardwalk kind of fall apart and then you're walking on planks and shit and then the whale comes up through the planks and goes towards you and you got to jump over it. Like that would that seems to me like it could be done on this, you know what I mean? Well, yeah, that's true. But but that's what I'm saying. It seems to me like that's an idea that could be done in a system like this. Would it work as well? Probably not, but it would make sense from the rules of nature. But then again,
The rules of nature.
I guess that's part of the reason why video games are just that, video games. They can get away from the rules of nature. So
I mean, they might be able to do something on like the DS version of this.
Kirby
Had a
Jones.
little more wiggle room.
Da 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 da.
I mean, we can't hear it right now, but the song that's playing is honestly quite similar sounding to the Indiana Jones theme.
I mean, you already knew that's where they were going with it.
Never stop, don't stop.
Da, 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 da.
Okay, well, actually, maybe do stop.
Yeah.
Copyright's sake.
I think we have to use the actual audio, and as long as you break it up in pieces.
Thanks, First Amendment.
Yeah.
You're not doing shit.
Well, there are some people that want to take it away. As you know. But it is what it is.
So that you know how much dough you hold.
Man. So now you got the little turnip looking guys.
You gotta love it. Because they're throwing grenades and they're pineapples.
Yes.
Eh? Eh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Eh?
Yeah. Oh my God. He's so funny. I can't stand it. The pineapple plant.
A saucepan.
The only fruit in the universe that explodes if not consumed in 10 seconds.
Yeah,
Why that time frame? I don't know.
It happened to me once. It'll happen to you.
Is that why you have a massive gaping hole in the side of your torso there?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll get over it.
Yeah. A little antibacterial ointment, what have you. Does wonders. I love how they have the, George S. Patton military helmet from the 40s.
It honestly looks more like a Wehrmacht helmet.
I see no spike.
No, that's a Pickelhaube.
Oh, that's right. See, we're playing up our actual roles today. Last week you were the Debil. Today I am the Debil, and that's the way it should be. Yeah. But fair enough.
The Pickelhaube, as famously depicted in the dream sequence in An American Werewolf in London,
Yeah.
directed by John Landis.
Landis.
Won the first Academy Award for Best Makeup and Effects.
Oh, that's right. It did, didn't it?
Yeah, 1980. Or 81.
Something like that. Roughly 40 years ago, we'll say.
Roughly egg.
Man, now you got Grease Monkey Kirby.
What do you think, Sticky?
Yeah, our service dog's back. How about that?
He's fat.
What you eating there, boy? I don't even think he knows. It's like, I found this fleck on the floor. Don't know what it is, but
Hungry
I thought, if I put it in my mouth, maybe I can extract some sort of nutritional value from it. So that's what I did. And that's why we love our beloved Sticky Boy.
He's my dog.
Well, he is your dog.
And I'm not sharing.
Yeah. I do kind of agree with you, though, when people, like...
Quit sawing my air.
When people go to your house and they start to think of your dog as their dog, that's...
I can't help it if your dog likes me more.
My dog's just kind of a fickle bitch, quite literally. She's goofy, though.
She likes that toy that makes the noise you hate.
Yeah, that ball. Oh, God. So I don't know whose idea that was to put what's essentially a slide whistle inside a ball. But to their credit, it works too well. Every time they bring that shit out, it's like, oh. Between it doing its shit, rolling around, and my dog barking at it, it's the decibel level in my... Yo, is that Raggedy Andy?
I believe
For legal reasons, it isn't. But like, holy.
I feel like this is supposed to be an elaborate Dragon Quest reference, but I've never touched a Dragon Quest game.
Well, neither have I. No, we can't have this anymore because Kirby's wearing a Native American headdress.
Amazingly, they haven't changed it.
Yet. Just give it some time. They will.
Give it some eggs.
The biggest crime is that they didn't specify which nation. Looks mildly Sioux to me.
Susie and the Banshees.
Which casts a fire spell. Kirby is heard. Kirby attacks. Which is defeated. Kirby defeats all enemies. You earned 196 experience point. Well, how about that?
Well,
you earned 3 tenderness
you earned
points.
2 exam score points.
Exam score? So what, he's like a student now or something?
You earned 2 love points.
Aw. The theme of this game is becoming a well-rounded sphere of pink mass.
It's like a Persona game where you have to up your personality stats.
I love how they call it a trolley.
Gotta get on the lorry.
I also love how you can defy the laws of gravity by continuing to go uphill without losing speed, even though you haven't generated nearly enough momentum to do so.
Rules of nature.
Are for squares.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, hit that bell. All right, go up to, get on that spring.
Now, one thing I wish they would bring back that I haven't seen them do in a while is you used to be able to eat the broom hatter enemies and get a broom power, and it was only like in Dreamland 3.
Oh, could you really?
Yeah, because they're like in every game.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they haven't brought it back yet.
I don't know if they thought to do it or if there was a space problem or what, but
There ain't no space problem on a dang disc or
yeah.
whatever cartridge format they're using now.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe the programmers just, just, God, I can't speak.
Buliat.
Suka Buliat.
Are you Buliat yet, son?
I don't know. Can we use that word now?
Buliet.
Buliet. It's not exclusive to, Eastern Ruthenian. It's present. Not president. It's present in other Slavic languages.
Yes, the infamous President Buliet.
Yeah, President Buliat of
Kosovo.
Serbian Kosovo. We probably can't talk about that either.
Of South Sudan.
Actually, the Sudans are Serbs.
Yeah, man.
Did you know that?
I thought this was common knowledge.
Well, I thought so too. I just, it's a kind of controversial idea to talk about, so.
The world's not ready for that kind of knowledge.
Maybe someday, maybe in another 65 years, we might be able to start talking about the
Serbian origin of the human race.
All humans are Serbs.
The cradle of life.
Humankind, the cradle of life is Belgrade. You thought it was Ethiopia, but no, it's the Dinaric Alps.
See, only the most primitive of humans could have come from such a place. Just look at the modern Serb and see how little they have changed.
Pravoslavne. That's why. Serbs are a heavenly people. You know what they say?
All Serbs, toast.
I was going to say samo sloga Srbina spašava, but you know what? That works too. But I can't talk about it that much because I ain't a Serb, at least not immediately.
Ladies, this is Roman Belic.
Roman Belic. Don't you know?
Well, they don't even pronounce it right in that game.
Oh, I thought it had what's the name of the tilde that they have over the C to make it a hard C? I forget. There is a name for it. It's not. Is it Hacek? No, it's not the Hacek. Let's see.
It's all Greek to me, ironically enough.
Well, yes, that's actually no. It is both Greek and Latin. If you look at the Serbian language, it is written with both Latin characters and Cyrillic characters.
I don't like St. Ambrose.
You know, it's kind of funny that you bring up the bowling thing because I've got some relatives. They're in. Well, let's see. We're trying to keep our location relatively anonymous, but so I won't give the location of my family. Not that anybody really cares to know, and I really should stop talking about it. But anyway, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, there is a church that is so Serbian. Their banquet hall has a bowling alley. I kid you not. It is Saint Sava Cathedral, which is obviously the most important saint in the Serbian Orthodox faith, and they have a bowling alley at their banquet hall.
The patron saint of bulls.
Yeah. And it's like just as I just find that so funny. It's absolutely perfect.
For your confirmation, you must learn to juggle at least 4 pins.
Yeah. Yes. And they hold their own with the majority of the, Polish-owned bowling alleys also on the south side of the city. So
it's like
so if you want to know where that thing comes from, well, I really shouldn't explain because I think it's fairly obvious, but back in the 20th century when we had all those, I don't know what wave they called it, but one of those big waves of Slavic immigrants from Central and Eastern Europe. A lot of the major
Soviet Union wave.
Yeah, that one. The major pastime obviously was bowling because it was inexpensive and
the major pastime of Serbs is getting out of the Soviet Union and ex-Soviet states.
Yeah, Soviet satellites. Yeah. Yeah, well, why wouldn't you if you were a Serb? They didn't exactly like orthodoxy.
The SSRs and the SSAs.
Yeah. It was kind of a hot mess, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
But, bowling was, well, I can't assume. It's not like I've ever, not like I've been to the actual country, but, I would assume it's, stuff's still kind of messed up, but we're coming up on 58 now. But I suppose we
might have time for the gourmet race.
The gourmet race.
The Gubnik race.
So yeah, long story short, bowling's a cheap activity. It's not extremely expensive to start one. If you don't want to have the most modern technology, because you can set those pins by hand. In fact, there is a bowling alley, a Polish bowling alley in Milwaukee, that is still operated by actual human beings, i.e., there are no pin setters, no mechanical apparatus, no nothing.
Well, there are pin setters. It's just their people.
It's just their people. There is an old babusha sitting in the back of the bowling alley, and she puts the pins up, and you knock them down, and she does it again, and it's been that way for years. Now, as far as Saint Sava goes, I actually do think they have a mechanical apparatus.
I feel like it affects the competitive scene
a little bit. But it's not one of those places that you go to compete necessarily. It's more of a, I just got done with my shift at General Mills or Briggs and Stratton or whatever, and I want to relax with my boys. So that's why they do it.
Done with my shift at Weedex.
Weetabix. There's a cereal that we don't have in the United States.
Yeah. Because we have taste buds.
Oh. Is that so?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You got to put your Weetabix in your Bovril milk.
your vegetable yeast milk.
Only then will you truly die of sodium poisoning.
Of all the ways that a person could go out, That doesn't seem like an especially fun way.
Not particularly, no.
So, but that's just my opinion.
I mean,
Leaving the.
you eat enough salty food at once, and your body will tell
Oh
you
yeah,
that
don't
stop.
don't please. If you keep doing this, I will shut down, and there won't be anything you can do to stop it. So man, for a fat duck, DDD can run pretty freaking quick.
When you want it, you want it.
I mean, that's fair. I've just never known ducks to be especially quick.
They're
birds.
masters of air, land, and sea.
Yeah.
They will overtake all of us.
Yeah, that they will. The air. Oh my God. There's some inflation for you.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm gonna stop because this is going down a rabbit hole that I don't want to go down.
I need the strongest duck you have.
No, that's actually
that's
too
strong.
strong. Do you have any other amphibious birds? No? Okay. Well, bro, what you doing? He's getting ahead of you.
I didn't even see him. He's
so fast.
He's an echo on the wind.
His stride is so short yet so powerful. He's like Michael Johnson. If Michael Johnson was a duck.
How can anyone overcome such a duck?
3 W's. World Wide Web.
That's right, baby. All those dubs.
All the dubs. Look at his face. He's so shocked.
The winner.
He's crying. Look at him. That's beautiful.
That's where we're going to leave you today, ladies and gents.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Send your messages.
Your support will force me to get better at my game, so to speak.
Or worse.
Depends on what you want to hear. So, yeah.
Write into duckingglasspro@gmail.com if you have, I don't know, anything to say.
Even if it's harsh, please, by all means, give us the nastiest comments you possibly can. We'll have a segment, actually, where we read them.
No death threats, though. That's illegal.
No death threats, please. Please, have some decency. So, with that, thank you for listening, ladies and gents, and we will see you on the next one.
You are winner.